Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm your captain, guide, and friend, Dalton Rutlinger. Welcome back to Sailwind. I am in a much better mood now after the previous episode, which was driving me up the wall. Reason being is because, number one, I've had a little bit of a break. And number two, I had a kind soul tell me in a previous video what was causing the slingshotting. And that mod has now been uninstalled. So far, knock on wood, I haven't been slingshotted, but supposedly the mod that was causing it was the better drag mod, which has just been uninstalled. There is a patch for it, but it didn't fix the issue completely. So I just decided to just do away with it entirely because I just couldn't take it anymore. I was done. So you're probably looking at the boat wondering what in the world is going on here. That is a lot of cargo. And you're right and wrong at the same time. I've got a lot of drink in the barrels. I've got a lot of water. I've got like three barrels of water. I have some rum and some wine. However, most of these crates are empty crates. Reason being is we are going to be trying out some commercial fishing, or as close as we can get to it, I suppose. I bought a smoker. Lots of firewood to keep that smoker going. A lot of fishing lures, a lot of fishing hooks, and plenty of food provisions, I think, for the time being. As a matter of fact, I might be able to... Not quite. Sooner or later, I will be able to just... recycle one of these crates, and in fact I think I can even like turn one of these crates into more firewood whenever I start getting low, which probably won't take very long because the smokers go through wood pretty quick. So yeah, we're going to be doing some fishing this episode. Hope you're all looking forward to it. I figured it'd be kind of a nice little break from the monotony of trading all the time. I have 5 fishing hooks all lured up. And yeah, I don't need to go too far away because Coupling Rhino in the comments section told me that the reason I keep catching all of the same fish is because these are the only fish that spawn in my current location. So we're only going to be catching whatever I've been catching here lately, so... Hopefully you're not looking forward to anything extra. I bought all these, like, topwater lures before I knew that information. I was hoping that maybe all these different lures would help me catch different types of fish, but unfortunately it's just kind of a moot point at this point. Okay, so this is currently happening apparently. Ah, I see what's happening is the wind just decided to stop blowing. You know, while I'm here in harbor, let's test this out. It does lean more in this direction. But at the moment, it seems steady enough. I'll have to test it out in choppier waters, I suppose. At some point, I need to install the Better Horizons mod. It'll make the crow's nest a bit more useful. However, I might not do that until we start actually traveling internationally. And once we start traveling internationally, I'll switch the configuration for scattered seas to actual coordinates. Because at the moment, there's nothing that takes us out of the Astron area. It's all just going to these same islands. Oh, okay, well, this works. Tree all these up. I do need to be careful about this because I was playing by myself yesterday, testing a few things out. And this particular loadout picks up speed like crazy. And because there's so many winches, it's kind of hard to reel up all the sails in a hurry. I do wish that sound would stop. Because it always happens whenever the wind dies down. And I don't know... Yeah, see, there we go. It's not a needed sound. Now, I will say I've never used this smoker before. I've pretty much always used the Alonk stove and smoker whenever possible because they can hold a lot more. So it's going to be interesting to see like how much food I can actually put in this thing. And Coupling Rhino has been telling me that getting the deep keel is probably going to come back and bite me on the butt later on. But for right now, I will keep it installed. Although, yeah, you can see there's not a lot of clearance down there. Areas like Astra Abbey might be off limits to us for a little while until I get that taken off. But if I take off the deep keel, I'll also have to take off the crow's nest. Now, if the wind would ever like to start blowing and not just having the sound effect, I have to turn that down. That's just getting to be a bit much. Oh, here we go. Okay. Unfortunately, it kind of started blowing in a not great direction. Someday I will figure out which one of these is which. Yeah, I got plenty of room in the stern. I don't know how far out I'm going to go for this. I don't want to go, like, super far out, but I do want to go a ways from shore. Let's see here. We are currently heading west. We're heading west, like straight into a rock. You know what? Maybe I'll head north. North could be fun. Yep, north-northwest. Works for me. Right, let's also go ahead and loosen you up just a little bit so you're not trying to flip us over. Oh yeah, I also have two not repair hammers, but two hammers, just in case I need to. Let's see here. I'll put you over here, I think. Actually, no. What I'll do is I'll move you over here, and then you can come over here. Kind of shift the weight around a little bit. If we can. If the barrel would like to cooperate. There we go. Oh, almost. You know what? You can just go right there. I don't think I'm going to be needing the anchor for a little while, so... that'll work just fine. Let's see here. The wind is currently blowing that way. Actually, you know what? I want to do a little experiment. Let me see how fast we can get up to just using the stay sails. Whoops. Not a pleasant sound, I'm gonna be honest. Of course, also need to keep in mind that this is going to make the boat really want to turn in the direction the wind is blowing. So maybe not have them quite so tight. You know what? Let's save. And let's test this out as well. I got the deep keel for a reason. Let's see if it works. It probably wouldn't be so bad if I didn't have so much weight along this side of the boat. But it's not flipping over for literally no reason, so... This is going to be so useful once we start journeying into international waters. There's Mount Malefic out there. Uh-oh. 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 Let's see here. I don't really need to go super far away because all I'm going to be catching is just the same types of fish, but just to add to the immersion, you know? You know, on that note... Actually, you know what? No, I'll leave the outermost one. Yeah, we can, like, use the stay sail to keep moving while we're still, you know, casting lines out. And now that I know that we're only going to be catching the exact same type of fish no matter what, I can just use whatever lure I feel is appropriate at the time. Whichever one I get in my hand first. Hopefully, sooner or later, we'll get to an area where we can actually journey a bit further up north. And then we'll see how things go from there. In terms of the types of fish we can get. Right, let's pull you in a little bit more so we can continue moving. Now, as I said before, I have no idea how much fish this particular smoker can actually hold at a time. So, I guess 3 would be a good enough area to start, so let's go ahead and just start doing this then. I did try this yesterday, but then I realized I was being an absolute idiot, and that salting wasn't going to be enough to preserve the food. It actually has to be smoked. But I just thought this would be like a really nice alternative from doing trade and missions for a while. Something that's not like so time consuming and something that doesn't really require, you know, dealing with the wind all the time. Like if I want to, I can just stop right here and call this good enough. Which, in the base game, it probably would be. As you'd be catching all different types of fish. Almost got it. There we go. I guess I'll start for 4, or I'll go for 4 fish right off the get-go. If it holds more, it holds more. If it holds less, it holds less. All right, one more. Come here, you. The sun is going down. It is blinding me. All right, now. That is a full, well, almost full inventory of fish, so let's bring these back over here. Probably just wasted firewood right there, but oh well. I've got plenty to spare. Once we get the brig, or, well, probably the first boat we will get is the brig, so I don't know if I want to aim for the cutter yet, because that's going to take a while. But once I get a bigger boat, what we can do is we can actually like put an absolute crap ton of smokers on it and be like an international fishing boat. Smoking takes a while, so... And there's no point in me catching any more fish until, you know, these are completely done. So, yeah, I really don't need to be sailing any further out, because it's just kind of pointless. In real life, you'd of course have... in real life, you'd have a net. You wouldn't be fishing with a fishing pole. But... as things stand right now, there's no net in the game. So it's just kind of a moot point. And as I said, I'm just trying something different with this video. This might be a profitable thing. This might turn out to be an absolute waste of time. I guess we'll just have to see. And I realize I probably don't need quite so much supplies on board for this, but I got most of this before Coupling Rhino told me that the only fish I'm going to be catching, like, in the longitude and latitude that I'm currently at is just these things. I thought maybe I just wasn't going out to, like, deep enough waters or something. So all this extra supplies is just kind of not needed. I did also buy, if I can grab it, a chrono compass. This is going to be extremely useful for whenever we start doing international waters. Or international travels. Did something fall off? I guess not. I thought I saw something fall off. Okay, I think this is getting to be a little too crowded up here. I'll move these down here. And you know what? I'll put the hammer here as well. I saw someone's photo on Discord where they were using these shelves to hold the barrels, and I thought that was a really cool idea, so I kind of stole the idea. Right, well, I guess I'll just see you guys whenever these are finished, because there's no real point in keeping you guys around until then, because not a lot is happening right now. Okay, I did not notice this before, but you can actually put more than just one piece of wood in the smoker, and these things are taking forever to finish, by the way. Yeah, I just now realized, like, there is a... Well, dang it, if I could actually, like, highlight the thing again. Yeah, 3 out of 3. Oh, that's nice to know, I guess. Also, we seem to be getting closer to Fordation again, so let's... Let's sail out a ways a bit more. I like this look for, like, any boat from this time era. There's no need for us to go super fast here, just keep moving further away from land, basically, is all we really want to keep doing. It looks like it can handle 4. Maybe like 4 at the most, though. Unfortunately, it would be nice if it could like hold 6. That way, it could have a full inventory, but or 5. There we go. Hydration completely topped up, and let's continue eating this goat cheese. Alright, looks like it's getting close to being done, though. There is a mod I could install to make it to where it shows the percentage of how done they are, but I don't want to do that, because you can't really do that in real life. In real life, you kind of have to just eyeball it. There we go. Alright, so now we get the moment of truth of if these are actually going to be sealable. Surely they should be. Items in crate are not sealable, because of course they're not. So how does the sealing work then? Maybe they have to be salted too, in which case I'm kind of screwed because I don't have any salt with me. Will you just stay on the thing, please? There. Thank you. Well, this kind of puts a damper in my plans. Well, I came out here to fish, so I might as well fish. I might need to read the mod again to see how this ceiling thing actually works. I think what I'll do is I'll fill up this first crate completely, then we'll head back to Fort Astron. I'll get some salt after selling all this stuff, and we'll try it again. Right, then there's you. Boink. All right. Oops. Cool. And I might as well continue casting out lines. Wait, did you have a... I guess I'll find out if he had a lure or not. Or a hook or something. Yeah, it takes like half a day for the smoker to actually do its thing, so... We'll be out here for a while, regardless of whatever happens. Because it's going to take us like 4 times. Actually, no, it's going to take us 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to take us 5 times to smoke all the fish and then put them all in this thing. So, yeah, we're going to be out here for a while. And I have no idea if this is going to turn a profit or not. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If it does, fantastic. Just kind of adds a bit more gameplay to Sailwind. And I've never done this. I've never tried like fishing just for the sake of being a fisherman. Fishing has always been something that you do to get free food, basically, in this game for me. Though I do think it would be nice to be able to, like, attach nets that the boat can drag behind it. And then whenever you get to town, you can sell whatever you have in the net. Or maybe have a boat that you can kind of fill with water. And you can store the fish in the water like that. That way they're always fresh. Right, well, I will see you guys here in a little bit. You know what? Now would be a pretty good time to demonstrate something that this mod does. You can actually break apart empty crates like this. With a cutting knife. I know, it's very weird using a cutting knife to break apart one of these board or one of these boxes, but it is what it is, I suppose. Yeah, and you can turn it into firewood. Pretty cool. So that'll give me a bit more firewood to play with. And it also means I don't have to, like, dump boxes overboard anymore. I can actually get I can kind of recycle them myself. So now this thing is almost full up again. It's like I've only just started now. I'm kind of curious how much these are going to produce. Because I imagine these will not produce as much firewood as... You ran out, didn't you? Alright, well... There you go. There you go. And there you go. Whoops. Where did my knife go? There it is. It almost fell overboard. I would have been less than happy if it did. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'll put you over here, just to avoid something like that happening again. Put the quadrant up here, just because it makes a bit more sense to have the navigational tools up here. And you know what? Actually, you know what? Let's see here. Wine or rum? I think we'll have some wine. Lovely jubbly. Little nice breakaway from just the water. If you're wondering what these are, if you're new to Sailwind, these are basically bottles of lantern oil. I can use these to refill my lanterns, which I don't have one up here. So, there's no real point right now because it'd be kind of a waste. This one's at 84%. Then this one down here is at 81%, so there's not a point yet. Oh, these are getting close. So you know what? On that topic, let's go and start reeling these in again. Caught 50 temple fish. Caught 50 fish in general. Let's do that. I think I should be far enough out that I can actually reel up the sails now. I'll let the wind just kind of gently carry me back while I'm fishing. I will do that here in a moment. Wait, what the? Weird. And last one. Okay, yeah, you're all done, which means we can just throw you down here. And then boink, 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 and boink. Actually, out of curiosity, wait. It can't hold 5! So I've just been wasting my time this entire time. That's just great. Awesome. Love that for me. Love that for you guys, too. So on that note, actually, I wonder if it can hold 6. where did you go? Oh, here we go. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and just reel you up. No real point in keeping you down any longer. And we can just tighten you. I suppose there'd be nothing to keep me from eating one of these myself. I mean, I've got a plentiful supply. It's not like I'm going to run out. Okay, actually, on that note, so if you could be placed there, actually, it'd be better just to keep it at 5 because it'll just make it a little bit easier. For transporting. Right, you're at neutral, very good. Alright, I think maybe some rum now that it's in the evening. That did like nothing for my thirst. Huh. We'll have some actual cheese this time. It's a bit more filling. And I shall see you guys in the morning. Wait, what? Well, that's a complete waste. Didn't even know it was possible to burn with smoking in this game. Guess I learned something new there. But on that note, let's test this out real quick. Where did I put the knife? There it is. How much firewood do we get from you? 4 pieces. It's not great, but could have been worse, I suppose. Alright, well, I guess there's only one thing to do at this point, which is to, well, number one, check and make sure these are still good. Yeah. Must have gotten a ways away from Astron. Yeah, I can see it over there. We've gone a pretty decent little ways away from it. Kind of a shame that those other ones burnt, because otherwise we'd be a little closer to being done with this. I'm enjoying this, though. It's just something a little different to what I usually do. Alright, let's turn on the lantern for the time being. You all can be cast out. Right, you are not cast out. Why are you not cast out? No, I didn't cast you out. Alright. Up you come. And you took my fishing hook again. You little gits. Okay. Boink, 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 and haboink. Right, where did the firewood go? There it is. Alright, let's get some cheese. It's a good thing our sailor is not a very picky eater, because, I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of cheese by itself. I know some people are, but I just can't. And you know what? Let's also have some morning wine, too. Because I know that was a thing back in the day. Right, well, I guess I might as well get some more sleep. Wow, I actually slept through most of the day that time. Right, so let's top you up. climb up here, just to have a little look-see around. This would probably be nerve-wracking as crap in real life. Oh, and that's how you actually get down the legitimate way. Yeah, the wind is definitely pushing us a lot further away, so I'm guessing the trade wind goes that way. So on that note, could maybe update the map a bit with the trade wind blowing basically more or less to the east. To the east by northeast. Or actually, maybe more northerly. Yeah, there's one way to know for sure. Do. Yeah, so basically to the northeast. I think it might be a good idea to go ahead and start moving back towards home a little bit here. Don't need to go all the way, but just stay close enough to keep the islands, you know, in visual range. How are you guys doing? Alright, let's have you tip over again. You know what, if you're gonna do that, you can just go... Yeah, well... How about here? Nope, you don't want to be up by the anchor, do you? Ah, I'm drinking from the barrel. I don't want to do that. There we go. That's better. These guys do look like they're almost-ish done. Ah, yeah, look at that color change. So have I just been wasting wood this entire time? By throwing 3 of them in? No idea. Okay, so they're not quite done yet. Yeah, just to keep the number nice and even, I'll throw 3 of them in there. Even though I'm pretty sure these guys are almost done. Yep, here we go. All these guys are now smoked. Very good. Right, so I need 7 more. You... Oh, you weren't cast out. I do plan on doing a lot of cooking whenever I'm actually able to have a smoker and a cooker and all kinds of pots and pans all over my boat. I do plan on doing a lot of cooking because you can make soups, teas, coffees, and all kinds of things in this game. Some people don't like it. I kind of do. Like, I despise cooking in real life just because I don't really like the cleanup of it, but every once in a while, I don't mind experimenting with something. I would never call myself a gourmet chef, but some of the things that I can make, they turn out to be pretty decent. Probably because I'm not your typical white guy. I don't just make it without any seasoning or anything. I actually put a decent amount of seasoning on my stuff. Nothing spicy, though. I'm not a fan of spicy stuff. Some spice is okay, but I don't want to have my tongue, like, literally trying to burn off. Like, some of y'all are just outright insane putting ghost peppers and things in your dishes. Like, no way, no how. Alright. Boink, 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 and boink. Yeah, I'm realizing now that the ceiling is probably for, like, fruits and vegetables and whatnot. That would definitely make a bit more sense. Alright, I think we're fine to continue sailing on in this direction. At least for a while. Yeah, my firewood is definitely not going to last forever, so... I can maybe fill up one more box, but... I don't know if I have the patience for it. This has been a fun episode for me, though. I like just the chill vibes of it. Oh, smoker died out. Why are you glowing? I don't know why you're glowing. I was about to say I'm going to go and save it, but then the game, I guess, read my mind. Oh, I did also increase the time for random encounters, because I felt like the encounters themselves were happening a bit too frequently. I think I'll probably go ahead and start reeling this in. I don't want to go to bed yet because these things are, I think, are almost done. Let's take a little look-see. No, as a matter of fact, they are not. I was seeing things. I'm just going to put the lantern in my inventory for now. Although, actually, you know what? Swap places with the broom. And truth be told, I'll probably take you downstairs. There we go. Alright, so every once in a while I'll check on these to see how they're doing. And I'll see you guys back in a bit. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I have caught the final 2 of these king trout that we need. Or timblefish, never mind. I was reading something else on YouTube. So yeah, after these 2, we should be ready to head back to Fort Astron and sell this crate of fish. I doubt it brings in very much, but nonetheless, I've enjoyed this little break away from delivering cargo. This has been a fun experience regardless. Alright, I'm going to go to sleep and I'll see you guys here in a little bit. And the sun rises once more on what is admittedly a very beautiful flat. Siren song out there in the distance, as well as Fort Astron. I think that's the smoke of Mount Malefic just doing weird stuff over there. I think after this video is done, I will go ahead and install the Better Horizons mod. I'm just glad, you know, knock on wood, the slingshotting seems to be just done and over with now. That was royally starting to tick me off in the previous video, but thankfully, I don't think I was in the wrong for being ticked off either. I think I was justified for being annoyed at that. This is such a freaking vibe, though. That I don't know about, though. What the heck was that? Scuba dive time? Well, I don't know what that was. Frankly, I don't know if I want to know. Ugh, I'm gonna be screwed in the event somebody ever, like, adds in some kind of sea monster like a kraken or like a giant snake or something like that. Though I do think that should be something that's in the game, is just something creepy. I mean, the ocean is a very creepy place. Sailors have been superstitious for eons. Are you guys almost done? You should be almost done. Right, so the wind is blowing favorably enough to get us back to Fort Astron. So let's go ahead and start moving in that way. Well, while we can. I will release one stay sail for now because with all the stay sails down, we go extremely fast, like deceivingly fast. You really have to be on your toes about... Alright, these are done. About approaching islands whenever you have all the sails down on this thing. Alright, let's go ahead and raise you up as well. And we can start heading back into port. I think what kind of screwed me over last time, though, was I headed, like, straight for the island. A wiser idea would be to kind of aim for somewhere that's close by to the island, but not directly into it. I say that'd be a wise... That should really just be common sense, Dalton. That really should just be... That should really come as a surprise to nobody, I suppose. Right, so you know what? Just to kind of show you guys like how fast this thing can actually get up to. I don't have the device with me that allows me to read, to take speed readings, but you'll see with your own eyes that this thing is not a slouch whenever it comes to moving. And once we get to Fort Astron, I suppose there are a few things I could kind of test out as well, is like buying fruits and vegetables and trying to seal them inside some of these empty crates. Or maybe even salting the fish that are in this thing. Right, so let's pull these in a little bit. Yeah, all the fishing poles are up. Very good. I've gone through half of this box and half of this box. But I'm genuinely curious to see how much money this brings in. I'll be honest, I don't expect it to do much, but you never know until you try something, right? And I mean, either way, this was, as I've said many times in this video, it was just a nice break away from the monotony. It did cost me a good chunk of change, though. If this brings in a decent amount of money, great. If not, so be it. But I think one thing I will do is I will kind of do a bit of extra work on the boat to... I might just do like Coupling Rhino says and get rid of the deep keel. I don't know. Because I do see what he means, as in, like, it really adds on to the bottom of the boat, and it can do some serious damage. Thing is, I don't have the Tides mod installed. So it's not quite as dangerous as it could otherwise be. I just have to be extremely careful coming up to islands and navigating through tight areas. I would not trust this with Mirage Mountain, for example. And there are some areas in Aestra Abbey I wouldn't even try it with. I wouldn't even think about trying it in Mirage Mountain. Alright, so now the wind's going to be doing this. So I'll just go ahead and reel all of these up. You know what, just so I don't have to listen to the flapping noise. I'll lower this down. This is another thing that I kind of wish didn't happen as much, is the wind just randomly stopping for, like, no reason. It's not nearly as annoying as the being slingshotted backwards was, though. That was just... It enrages me just thinking about it. Let's see here. I'm already getting kind of tired again. But at least with the deep keel, I can... I can use the crow's nest. Alright, so the wind has picked up again. Awesome. Let's just use some of the staysails for now, I think. I should probably actually... Right, so it picked up and then it just died down again basically instantly. The heck was that? Oh, it's a whale. Okay. That was... Whew, that sound. I was not appreciating that sound at all. All right, Whaley, where are you? There you are. There's another one over here. Oh, that's a killer whale. Dude? Yep. You might want to run. Oh, whoa! No, 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 no! Okay, you're investigating. Alright, you know what? Now you're just showing off. Ooh, can I actually... Catch me! I can honestly say I swam with a whale now. Oh wait, no, that's another one. Are you bigger? The answer to that question is yes, you are much bigger. Please do not whack my boat. Whoa. That is so freaking cool, though. I guess they've gone. They saw my boat, they got curious, they investigated, and now they're bored. Or maybe not. Either way, the wind has picked up again. Let's be on our way. As fun as playing with the whales has been, that sound is so terrifying whenever you're not expecting it. I hope you're having fun over there, you show off. Are you chasing me? Is that what you're doing? You sure are noisy creatures. I'm just gonna double check and make sure. Items in crate are not sealable. Okay. I'm not sure how much I believe that, but fine. There you go, whales. You can have your water back. I'd hate for the ocean to get too shallow for you because it's all coming onto my boat. They really are chasing me, aren't they? Where are you guys? I don't think I'm going to be able to make it back to the island before I have to go to sleep. It's kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, as far as I'm aware, Astron doesn't have an area that you can buy energy elixirs and things. To help you stay awake for longer. Well, looks like we have one of these fogs rolling in. I suppose I could try lowering these down and trying to get a little bit more speed. Let's see here. I would prefer not having to go into third person for doing that, but there's just no way for me to actually see the sail's positions. I think I can bring you in a couple of turns. Same with you. Yeah, that should be fine. I know I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired. I know. I am aware. I just want to try and get back to the relative safety of Fort Astron before I have to go to sleep. Just in case a storm comes along or something. Alright, let's start reeling all these in. Just because they take a while. And let's lower that. And tighten it. Same thing with you. And you know what? You're just going to cause problems if you remain down, so... Right. I have no idea if the anchor is going to work here, but only one way to find out, I suppose. Alright, I will see you guys whenever we're fully rested, I guess. Before I go to bed, though, I will hydrate. And I'll grab a little bite to eat. All right, everybody, good morning for the 50 millionth time in this Let's Play. The wind has finally picked up. Looks like we're going to have to zigzag our way into Fort Astron. As the wind is, of course, would you believe, blowing directly from there. Seems like the wind definitely pushed me quite a ways back while I was sleeping. I think if I can make it around this big rock over here, I should be able to just sail like straight into the harbor without too much of an issue. Unless the wind suddenly decides it wants to die down again. I'm not too sure if I'm going to buy that boat or not. It would definitely be nice to have a larger ship for traveling around, but at the same time, it'll definitely be a lot more to manage. Yeah, we're not quite ready to make the turn into the city yet. I think I'll just sell this box instead of turning it into firewood. Go out a little bit further. Think now would be a good time. You know what? I'll just head straight for the shipyard, just so I'm there in case I want to make any adjustments. However, might be worth lowering down one of these stay sails. As a matter of fact, I'll probably just go the rest of the way with the stay sails. Or stay sail. That way it kills off a good amount of speed, and it's mostly steerable. Alright, so how is the keel looking? It looks fine enough to me. Honestly, I think I might do away with some of these stay sails because they're... I'm never going to manage all of them, and they just add on unnecessary weight. I might get a cutter jib just so I can turn a bit tighter into the wind if need be, but... I don't know. Alright, we should have enough momentum to get us there. Emphasis on should. Whew. Hey-ya! Right, you know what? First things first, let's go ahead and sell this crate of fish, just because I'm curious to see if it actually amounted to anything. I imagine it probably didn't, but as I've said, you just never know. The mod made it seem like you could do commercial fishing, so... Yeah. Well, how much do you go for? You still only go for 7, but... I mean, it's 7 times 20. Well, 7 times 10 is 70, so... 140? Right, where's my phone real quick? Huh, what do you know, I was actually right about the price on that. You know what, while I'm thinking about it, just want to try some things out here, do a little bit more experimentation. Let's see, grab the hammer and grab some of the nails. Right, I'm going to assume this is not going to work with just fresh fruits and vegetables, but I imagine they probably have to be dried. All items have to be the same to seal. Fine. I'll move you into the shade so you're a bit easier to read. Right. So I'm guessing the fruits and vegetables have to be dried out then. And then you can probably seal them. Unless... What about now? Here you go. You can have some cheese back. Not sure if I really follow with the whole sealing thing. How much does a drying rack cost? We can do some experimenting while we're on ground here. 485. I might just have to do some more missions to be able to afford this and continue experimenting around. Bare minimum, however. I can sell all this stuff back for a decent price. Eh. This is gonna take a while. Not with the fishing hooks, though. Alright, I'll be with you guys back here in a second. Oh, wow. How much did the firewood cost? Because I just sold it back for 30. Wow, okay, so the firewood cost me basically nothing. Fishing hooks. 15. Yeah, so I'm getting like major refunds here. Unfortunately, now I have to sell everything back like one item at a time. You know what? You know what? No, I'll keep these. I've already drank from them, so I'm not going to get much of a refund. Admittedly, I'm potentially wasting some deck space here for other cargo items. I was hoping this would be a bit more profitable than this, but eh. But seriously. Oh no, now it's gonna do the stupid bug again. Ugh. You know what, you can have the hammer back, I guess. What do you mean you can't sell items with... Ugh. Seriously. We're gonna do this now. Give me just a second here, people. You know what? How is this video already, like, almost 2 hours long? I think I'm just going to call it a video here. I'll sell most of this stuff off screen, so yeah. Thank you everybody so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, leave a comment. If you want to see more content from me, consider subscribing in the future. And until next time, guys, God bless, take care of yourselves. I will see you in the next video. Until then, this is your captain, signing out.